What if the man they called a hero carried secrets from the battlefield that no one else could understand?
Real battles. Real heroes. This is USA War Stories.
The desert was quiet, too quiet for a war zone. Chris scanned the rooftops, eyes sharp, heart steady, searching for threat he could feel long before he saw it. A single reflection glinted in the distance, too fast, too small, too intentional. Was it a weapon or something far worse? And why did his instinct scream that this moment would change everything? Chris Kyle stared at the crumpled letter tucked deep in his vest, a letter he wrote but never sent. Each mission made the words inside feel heavier. But on this patrol, something caught his eye, a lone window glinting in the rubble, watching him. Was it just sunlight, or a signal meant to lure him into a trap? As Chris climbed the rooftop for a better view, the city went unnaturally quiet. No voices, no footsteps, not even wind. His instinct screamed. Across the street, a rooftop door slowly shifted open, just an inch. Was someone watching him or waiting for the perfect shot? Down below, Chris spotted a woman stepping into the street, but something fell off. She wasn't walking. She was hovering nervously, clutching something close to her chest. As she shifted her hands, Chris caught a glimpse of metal. Was she a civilian or a threat moving straight toward his unit? Just as Chris shifted focus, a young boy appeared behind the woman, no older than 10. But what froze Chris wasn't the child. It was what the boy held. A grenade, tucked under his arm like a toy. Was this a desperate family, or a deadly trap aimed at American troops moving straight into their path? Chris's heartbeat slowed as the seconds collapsed around him. The woman pointed toward the convoy. The boy tightened his grip. One wrong call could doom his brothers below, but pulling the trigger meant living with the weight forever. In that silent rooftop heat, Chris had to answer the question no soldier ever wants to face. Who is the real threat? In that frozen moment, Chris steadied his breath, then made the call. He lifted his finger off the trigger and chose to wait. The woman stepped back, pulling the boy with her, disappearing into a narrow alley. No explosion, no attack, but the question burned in Chris's mind. Did he spare innocent lives or let danger slip away into the shadows? As Chris swept the skyline, a sudden figure flickered atop a distant rooftop. Motionless, focused, locked on his direction. Was it another sniper waiting for the perfect shot, or a lookout silently marking his position? In a city where danger stayed hidden behind every shadow, Chris felt the chilling certainty that someone up there was watching him. The rooftop figure suddenly shifted, just enough for Chris to catch the glint of a rifle barrel. A heartbeat later, a crack of gunfire sliced through the air, kicking dust inches from his face. Whoever was out there wasn't watching anymore. He was hunting, and Chris had only seconds to find him before the next shot landed. Chris pressed himself against the blistered concrete, forcing his breath steady as he searched the rooftops. The shooter had vanished. No movement, no silhouette, just empty windows staring back at him. Was the sniper repositioning for a kill shot, or luring Chris into revealing his location? Every second he hesitated. The danger grew sharper. Just as Chris adjusted his scope, a quick flutter claw flashed beside a broken chimney. Too fast, too light to be the sniper. A decoy. Someone was trying to draw his eye while the real shooter circled for a clean angle. But where? Chris felt the trap tightening, forcing him to trust his instincts before the enemy struck again. Chris's eyes caught a movement across the street, subtle, deliberate, almost invisible. A shadow slipped along the walls of a ruined building. Too quiet for anyone ordinary. Could this be the sniper's escape route, or a second enemy waiting to strike? Every instinct screamed, one wrong move, and it would be the last. Suddenly, gunfire erupted from multiple rooftops, sharp, chaotic, unpredictable. Chris dove for cover as bullets kicked up dust all around him. The sniper wasn't alone. Now he had to navigate a deadly crossfire while identifying who was friend, enemy, or shadow. One wrong decision could end everything in an instant. Through the chaos, a sudden figure appeared on a neighboring rooftop. Not an enemy, but someone signaling Chris with urgent hand gestures. Could this stranger be a local guide or another trap? Every second counted. and Chris had to decide whether to trust an unknown ally or risk going alone in the sniper's deadly game. As Chris followed the signals, his eyes caught a subtle gleam near a broken doorway, a hidden explosive, primed and deadly. The allies' warning had saved lives, but how many more traps lurked unseen? In the chaos of war, every corner hid danger, and one misstep could be the last. The rooftop fell silent again, but Chris knew the Rayall sniper was still out there, waiting. One final move, one last shot. Every breath counted as he adjusted his aim, heart hammering in sync with the distant city. Would he spot the enemy first, or become just another shadow in the streets below? The rooftop fell silent again, but Chris knew the Rayall sniper was still out there, waiting. One final move, one last shot. Every breath counted as he adjusted his aim, heart hammering in sync with the distant city. Would he spot the enemy first, or become just another shadow in the streets below? Before Chris could squeeze the trigger, a sudden flash erupted. Gunfire from an unexpected angle. The sniper he had been hunting wasn't alone. Chris dove, narrowly avoiding a deadly shot. Who else was watching him? And would this ambush change the outcome of the mission forever? The enemy vanished from view, but Chris didn't relax. Every rooftop became a potential threat as he moved cautiously, scanning shadows and shattered walls. Who was leading whom? With danger lurking at every corner, one misstep could turn this deadly pursuit into a fatal trap. Finally, Chris spotted him. Enemy sniper crouched behind a crumbling wall. Every second stretched as they stared across the rooftops, rifles locked in silent tension. One wrong move, one twitch, and the battle could end in an instant. Who would fire first, and who would survive this deadly standoff? In the tense silence, Chris steadied his breath, every muscle taut. The enemy sniper moved slightly, revealing a sliver of vulnerability. One calculated shot, one precise pull of the trigger, and the deadly duel would end. Would skill and courage be enough to survive this rooftop battle and make a home alive? The battle may be over, but the true stories of courage, fear, and survival are just beginning. Don't miss a single moment. Subscribe now and hit the bell to follow every real war story, told like you've never seen before.